Okay, so I'm being weird already, but I'm Omi Allen and I am actually 40. I have been 40 for 4 weeks now, and I originally planned to record this live from the YouTube channel because I know I don't have time to edit, and that had been not even just editing but just going through rewatching or whatever, just being weird. So I was gonna just hop on and push record, but the way YouTube works, can't do that. I had to request the capability or like permission to record live. So I could not do that, but that's fine. That's how life works. So I'm recording, but I am just gonna record this baby and drop it on the channel because my baby is waking up soon. It is 8:48 a.m. and I can say that I'm looking at her monitor right now and she's still asleep, which is such a great thing. Like, she's wonderful. Anyway, so I have been gone for months, and I've had this block. It was like once I was gone, then I'm like, I've been gone too long to come back and I have to do this whole thing. And it just has snowballed to the point where turning 40, I'm actually 40. And I still have so many things that I want to talk about. So much has happened. So I have to catch us all up on all the things so that I can move forward. And I was telling my therapist, it's kind of like I felt like you can't just call your homegirl who you haven't talked to in a while. Well, you can call and it's as if, you pick up as if you never left off. But if it's been a while, it's like, girl, what's been going on? Catch me up, and then we can go from there. So this is the catch up video. And the easiest way to do it is through notes because so much has happened. When I first started this was my last video was August 4th, 2024, and today is May 22nd, 2025. Lots has happened. So plan is to run through this, and that will then, there's some things that I want to elaborate more on, but just kind of giving the quick rundown, and then that way I can kind of point to different episodes and different things. And I'm still calling this turning 40 because I am 40, but I'm still like turning 40, if that makes sense. I'm 40, I'm getting 40-ish. Stuff has been going on and I'm getting all up in my 40 bag. So let's go. Okay, so for starters, the reason why I stopped to begin with was we had a very traumatic event. I was holding Irie and we fell down the stairs. We fell down. We have a townhome, steep stairs, completely. I didn't miss the step, but my foot slipped and we fell down the stairs, and my baby ended up with a broken leg. Whew, it's a lot. That I will definitely do an episode on because it was very important. I am proud of the way that I handled it ultimately and the way that things went, but I'm not gonna get too into this, or yeah, I won't get it too far into it, but I was able to forgive myself. But recording and moving on, just, I don't know, I couldn't do that. I couldn't push record. Then, and this is somewhat chronological, but also we had already planned a trip to Martha's Vineyard with friends, and we did go. We ended up going. Irie still had her broken leg, but we went, and I'm so glad that we did go. It was ridiculously eventful. Another episode potentially, and that should be an episode because I prepared very well for it, but then things still happen. So it could be one of those like first time traveling with your baby and ways to pack, but then also shit can go wrong. And when shit goes wrong, what do you do? But the trip was it was really great. I feel like I connected with my mom who passed. Like, it was like a connection with that, and like an ancestor connection. I had a it was a enlightening trip. And it was beautiful. It was fun, peaceful. But yes, so we went to Martha's Vineyard. Love that. And then my husband turned 40 and my baby turned 1. So we did a 40/1 birthday party. Family and friends came in. It was really great. And there was all the planning that went on with that. I would say it went off without a hitch, but that would be a lie. So that party was me having to be checked on, like, it's not about me. So even being stressful or stressed out during planning it, I have like a thing where I would want things to be perfect, and if things weren't working out, then I start to have my own, like, I start making it worse, quite frankly, is what happens. So had some conversations about that, worked through that. That might be episode in itself too. Everything might be an episode, but maybe not. But the 40/1 birthday party was wonderful. Any friends and family who are watching this who made it, it was so great. Thank you for coming. I think I sent a thank you card. If I think I did. If I didn't, this is it. So love you. I don't know. Okay. Then we went to Pittsburgh. So it was our second trip flying with Irie, and we went to Pittsburgh to see friends and see family. We tagged along with Dada. Um, Dada had Dada. Che is Dada. But he had work to do, and Irie and I tagged along, and she was able to meet her grandma and her uncle, and then other friends and families, and the play uncles and the aunts, and it was a nice trip. It was a nice trip. Then we had Halloween, and Irie was Miss Rachel. It was so cute. It was so cute. She loves Miss Rachel. So shout out to Miss Rachel. We still love Miss Rachel. And yeah, she was a black Miss Rachel. Very cute. And then Irie had her first swim lesson. First and last swim lesson. Is that true? Yeah, we didn't go back. But I'm waiting. I'm gonna wait to do that. Maybe when she turns 2. And but it was fun. It was cute. It wasn't horrible. She dunked her head and all the things, but I want to wait. And actually, fast forward to now, I'm taking swim lessons. And for my 40th birthday, I decided that I wanted to learn all of the four, like the four official swim strokes. And this week, I actually have learned all four. So that's freestyle, my least favorite. Backstroke, I do love that one. And freestyle, backstroke, breaststroke. Breaststroke is kind of cool. It's interesting. And then this week, what was introduced is the butterfly, which is crazy, but so like fun. It's like a whole thing. So that will definitely be an episode. And I wanted to do that. So I've learned those and I'm working on that. And then my baby will get to her thing too. We'll get to her swim bag. She turns 2 in September, and this is May, so it won't be too much longer. We had our first Christmas photo shoot, a family Christmas photo shoot. That should be episode 2. That was like a whole clusterfuck as far as I was concerned. I was sweaty. It was stressful. Irie hated it, but we got some really cute photos. Some really cute pictures. The other thing that I need to do, I want to post on Instagram more. I want to post on my socials and stuff. I have pictures in life, so I think I'm gonna go through this, like, kind of go through my camera reel and just do a bunch of photo dumps and drop some stuff, because that also feels weird. Like, I don't know. I'm always taking pictures and videos and I just don't post them. And it's my platform and it's my thing. So why can't I post what I want to post? And I was post something from 32 if I want to post it, even though I'm 40 girl. Okay. And okay, we had a Christmas photo shoot. I reconnected with a friend, really, really great friend. And that I think I'm going to invite her to talk about it. That would be really, really fun, I think. But yes, I reconnected with a friend, and I just have to give that a shout out because it was very important. We hadn't talked in years, and it was really great and like fulfilling and a nice feeling, familiar feeling. Yeah. Thanksgiving, I was back on my Thanksgiving bag. I did my thing. I had not cooked. So I used to cook Thanksgiving every single year, and I cook everything. And I had not cooked. I cooked in 2024, which was this past Thanksgiving that I'm talking about. I had Irie in 2023, did not cook. Got pregnant in 2022, at the end of 2022, though. Did I cook? I cooked. So it been two. Yeah, we missed a year. But I don't know how great that one was. Either way, I did it. It was so good, and I cook everything. I make a pomegranate molasses turkey. Um, you know what? I'm not about to name all of those things because I said this was going to be quick, and what I made for Thanksgiving is not that important right now. So, Thanksgiving was a success. Christmas tree shopping. We went Christmas tree shopping, and it was great. Everything's great. It was just great. We found our tree, and my baby was like walking pretty strong, sort of. So she was moving and grooving a little bit. So that was, I caught some really sweet moments with that. And I also hit a point where I felt like I had to share with Che that I felt like I was drowning. I, at that point, my hip was healing, and I was still going to physical therapy twice a week, but I was still feeling like pain, and then just struggling to do all of the things to, this is an episode for sure, but kind of just going from stay at home wife to stay at home mom and combining those roles. And I just felt like I needed help. I needed help around the house. I needed help with just being my, like, getting my everything together. We kind of just needed to regroup. And ultimately, it was a hard conversation to have, but we decided to get a nanny to start in 2025. She was going to start January 2025, just for one day. And that was really difficult for me. So that is an episode because it's important to talk about that. I'm a stay at home mom, and I do have a nanny. And at one point, I had two. So that's a conversation to have. We got to, I went to my first Christmas concert. It was Leslie Odom Jr. Oh, I loved it. We went with great friends. Wonderful. And then I got a big haircut. So, yeah, just with everything that had been going on, and I don't know, just being like postpartum, but then also not being able to take care of my hair for real. And I got a big cut. So I want to share that as well. But I got a big cut. And at this point, we're in December, hence the Christmas time. And oddly enough, like the same week period that I talked about feeling like I was drowning and really struggling, I ended up having an 11-month appointment with my hip surgeon, and found out he wasn't happy with the progress, and I was still having pain. And at that point, I might have even been back on a crutch. I don't even remember. But he wanted to get some more imaging, and on Christmas Eve, I was I ended up getting an appointment to have another MRI to check, and we found out that my hip indeed was collapsing. So the reconstruction, basically the core decompression that I had in February of last year and worked through all year, by December it wasn't successful. So I had been moving and walking and trying to live and do things with the hip that was collapsing. It was validating. That's another episode. But it turned out that I needed to have my hip replaced. So there was that. Had to find that doctor and go through those things. We had a great New Year in spite of everything that went on. We spent time with friends, and then we put our baby down, and we were able to be together and have our moment at home too. So a great 2020, great. I love great. Great, 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 great. 2025 came in nicely. And then actually it was your hip is going to collapse was kind of the like there's a collapse issue going on. So then in early January, we met with the recommended surgeon for hip replacements. And Dr. Naylor in his office was amazing. Shout out to Dr. Naylor. And he did an x-ray and immediately was like, yep, it's collapsed. You can actually see right up in here. He showed where there was like a little piece missing and this, like I was bone on bone. And that was, it was big, but we already knew that replacement was going to need to happen, but we wanted it to happen faster. So on January, we scheduled for January 20th was when I had my hip replaced. Before that, there was this crazy snow here in Atlanta, and Irie got her like to see her first snow and be in it, and she was not feeling it. Really, I don't think she got it, which I'm not mad at. It's nice to look at. She liked looking at it. Ooh, pretty. But then when you're out, she was like, yeah, no, I'm good on that. She's into the cars. She loves cars. And then started going into, we really had the surgery planned, so we needed to hire nanny. We already knew nanny was going to be like a 1 day thing, just kind of for me. But then once we knew that my hip was going to be replaced and there was recovery required for that, we needed more help. So instead of 1 day a week, we ultimately decided on 5 days a week, which required two different people. That was an eventful process. Again, I will talk about the nanny situation, but we ended up with two nannies. I got my hip surgery the day before my hip surgery. I should probably, yeah, I should do an episode on that too. I'm gonna go through that. But I was telling everybody that this was my old hips last meal. We went to Spondivits, one of my favorites, and one of our favorites. And I was telling everybody, I got drunk and told everybody this is my hips last meal. And had the surgery on the 20th. It was hard, but 10 out of 10. I do recommend the replacement. I also started like the next week a weight loss a weight loss plan. It's called Verta. It is covered through our health insurance. Well, the employer covers it. So it was an interesting process, but I'm glad that I've started it and I worked through it, and it has been effective. Weight loss journey, definitely a thing in itself. But I have lost weight. I think ultimately altogether I've lost close to like 15 pounds or so, and then I've gained some back for my birthday. But yeah, not bad. Irie is, she's moving, but we're okay. It's 9. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna get my baby soon. So my baby got her first teeth right before 18 months. We got we I'm going to the Cowboy Carter tour. I'm so excited. I'm going with some girlfriends and we were able to secure some tickets. So that's going to be in July. Irie, back to Irie, her development. My baby is thriving. It's so sweet. She's growing. She's talking. She's running. She's got her opinion. She's crawling on stuff, climbing. She's climbing on everything. She's just really fun. She's fun and I'm enjoying this. I'm getting into my I've since so after April, what we did was I'm about to start talking about nanny stuff anyway. Either way, we're back down to nanny 1 day a week. And I'm able to get into my mommy bag. So I'm going to like, me and Irie went to brunch 1 day and we go to the gym or we just take our walks. And then all of the, painting, Play-Doh and teaching things. But she's doing very well. I'm very proud of her. I'm proud of us. We tried potty training. We're going to go back to that later. Mommy needed a break. We both needed a break, actually. But we've learned some things. Furniture, we've switched because my baby's growing up. We went from a playpen, we had to get rid of that, and now we have like a table and chairs, and she's learning to sit in her seat, and she likes to do all of her little artwork and all of the things there. So that was a process, but it's been fun. Went to an amazingly wonderful 40th birthday party for a really great friend, and yeah, it was the beginning. It was, my hip was great. We got to get dressed up. It was Met Gala themed, and to where like Mad Hatter was the thing. So it was like go over the top and get dressed and have fun. And it was a really, really fun date night. And I definitely went in with my outfit, and it was fun. So, and I was ready. It kind of gave me like a, yeah, I could turn 40. I could do this. Like, she like showed me that you could be 40, and yeah, like 40 is good. And it actually is. 40 is good. That's a that's an episode too. So yes, been doing activities with Irie. I have turned 40. I had a spectacular birthday trip to Montego Bay, Jamaica. We had not been in years. It went wonderfully. We stayed at the Half Moon Resort. So glad we went there. And I'm already trying to figure out how to get back because, yes, I feel like it was the best trip ever. Again, that's an episode too. And since then, my hip is great. I'm 40. I've been 40 for 4 weeks. And now that I've gotten that off my chest, I am really excited to kind of just jump in and do random stuff. And within 24 hours, I'm supposed to gain access to lives on YouTube. And I think that probably makes the most sense for me when I want to talk about something, because there's a whole process with everything. Right now, I'm about to end this recording, and then I have to upload it to YouTube, and it's not the end of the world, but it'll be much better to just go boop, go live. Hey, this is what's going on. Da 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 da. So between today, I have me and Irie. I'm gonna start a Pilates program on Peloton. That's random, but that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna do it with Irie. We're gonna have some fun in the living room, but we're gonna do our outside. We're gonna have breakfast and do whatever we need to do. I have physical therapy tonight. I do it on Thursday nights. And then I also have therapy this afternoon at 1:30. I think I need to look and see. I'm pretty sure it's at 1:30 once I put Irie down. But yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to tell my therapist that I actually did this. And yeah, I got this out. So now I can just kind of get back to just checking in and having some fun. Cause I got some advice, I've got some experiences, I've got some things to say, and we're not going to be afraid. We talked about ease, but now I've kind of added something extra that's called audacious ease. Ease. That's funny. I think I did that last time too. Anyway,